Hey everybody, it's Jermaine here. It is Sunday, it's podcast day, and I'm delighted to be with you. So look, today I'm going to give you 5 very, very simple steps to save money on your holiday budget. Now look, I know on AB, I've been predicting this cost of living crisis. Some may think I'm anti getting out in the sun, having that holiday. Definitely not. Love traveling, love to do it. And I just think it's really worth just spending a few minutes to give you 5 very, very simple ways that you can look to try and save some money on the travel you may have coming up. So the first thing to think about is how you're going to get there. So for most people, if you are going to be flying, don't forget there are 2 fantastic routes to try to source cheaper flights. One is how you search. So for example, using Google Flights is brilliant because it relies on this thing. They used to call it the ITA matrix. It's almost just think of it like as a massive technology backend that compares loads and loads of flights. Google have got some of the best technology in the market. I think it's the tech that used to power this thing called ITA matrix. And essentially when you are using them to search for flights, you're often going to get a much broader footprint, a much broader search volume. So it's worth doing that. The other thing to remember, or if it maybe not remember, but to know about, is this thing called ex-EU flying. Now what that means is, just say for example, you're based in the UK, and you want to travel long haul, say for example to America, you can sometimes find it works out much cheaper for you to get a flight to say Dublin and then book the same flight you'd want to book from Dublin to the States. They call it ex-EU because in the frequent flyer community, they used to have a big list of different European cities that you can use as your start point. And then you'd basically put those cities in, choose your destination, and you can play around with it to see where was going to let you fly the cheapest. Some people know about it. It's a really great way to actually find that you can shave a lot of money off your flight prices, particularly if you try to travel in premium cabins. It's a fantastic way to make a saving. One of the easiest ways to search for ex-EU flights is not only to use Skyscanner, but also Expedia. So if you change your point of origin, so if you change your start point to Copenhagen or Amsterdam or Dublin, for example, you'll see those routes and you'll see how much your flight prices can come down. It's a brilliant one to do. Another thing I just want to quickly share with you is the importance then of using cashback sites. So you've got the whole point about about how you travel, how you get out to where you're going. The next point is to think about where you stay. Now, cashback sites are fantastic because a lot of the big leading hotel brands tend to have some kind of cashback associated with them. You know, Hilton's, Marriott's, the Intercontinental Hotel Group, IHG. If you go onto something like Quidco or Top Cashback, you are quite often going to see some kind of cashback being offered for a range of different hotel options. Well worth doing it because everything is real money back in your pocket that can get paid into your bank account. So check it out. Even for some of the lesser known brands, or even actually, frankly, some massive brands, they can have different partnerships which can be appealing. So I know, for example, we went to Dubai a while back, stayed at the Atlantis, and they had an arrangement with, I think it was Emirates. So where you weren't necessarily getting cash back, you could still earn some Emirates points for your stay. Now, where you're going to do that stay anyway, it clearly makes sense to get the extra value. So check that out, Quidco or Top Cashback. So point number 3 then is to think about how you can maybe use different points that you may have accumulated to actually get the cost of travel down. It may be cost of travel, it may be hotels, but quite often cost of travel is where your biggest benefit is. Now, the points can vary. Some people have got Virgin points, not just Virgin Atlantic, but Virgin Red points that you can convert. Some people have got Tesco Club Card points, Nectar points, Avios points, Amex points. All of those different points convert into real monetary value for hotels and for flights. Absolute fact. Some of them are even broader than just hotels and points. So for example, with Tesco Club card points, you can convert to rail travel or you can convert to days out. When you start accumulating all of this value, you put it together, again, you're really seeing some tangible cash saving. And it's well worth doing, it's well worth exploring, because when you start to chunk these things up, I promise you, you're gonna find some great value from those transferable points, which are really quite easy to get into. The fourth point to share, and it's a really slick, easy way to travel, is by having a look at some of the incredible package prices that some of the big airlines tend to run. A really great example is something like British Airways holidays. Now, for many people, you might look and think, well, what's the difference between, say, buying a flight on BA versus buying something, British Airways, just a flight and hotel separate, versus buying the holiday? Well, there are a few key differences to be aware of. One is that when you're paying your money, you're only putting a deposit. So if you think you might have to pony up your full amount of money for a flight and then for the hotel, and you might sometimes find yourself living off credit to actually do that. With something like a holiday packaged in, you're just paying, say, £150 or £300 deposit, and then you can start to budget and you're getting that interest-free credit. Furthermore, if you choose to cancel the trip for any reason, all you're going to be doing is losing your deposit. The other great benefit is some of the incredible savings they give you. Now, for different reasons, you can see savings come through in cash savings on flights, cash savings on hotels. Sometimes they'll let you travel in the class above for no more money. All of these things are relevant. You also get extra bonus points when you're flying. So if you're flying on BA, for example, you're going to get extra Avios points. And then sometimes they're going to include things like half board at the hotel you're looking at. When you start adding all that up, so the ability to pay in installments, the extra points you're going to get, the cash savings you're going to make, or potential cash savings you're going to make, plus the potential added value they may give you. Again, that's a big incentive. And so just think carefully and always check. Even if you think flight and accommodation booking separate looks appealing, always double check, because I guarantee you're going to find some real hidden gems that can truly blow your socks off when it comes to finding incredible value. All right, guys, the fifth thing I'm going to give you in terms of how to save your money when you travel abroad is think about staying places that offer a kitchenette. Now, as simple as this sounds, there are very few hotels, I think very few locations that would typically offer kitchenette as standard. You'll find some hotels tend to have kitchenettes as more standard features. And again, you just have to kind of look at those and look for the detail. But when you think about a kitchenette, you're basically committing to cooking more meals at home, preparing more meals yourself, eating healthier, maybe just chopping down a little bit of that budget you spend on food and drink out. And quite often that food and drink expenditure far outweighs what you spend on flights or accommodation. So the more saving you can make and the more sensibly you can deploy that resource, the better. It's a massive thing that we do because we've got a child, but generally speaking, I know if we've got a kitchenette available, we are eating better, drinking better, and we are definitely saving money. There you have it, guys. So no more talking bad about the importance of holidays. Here I am sharing with you the best tips I can give you to try and find ways to save and lock in that holiday value. You know, look at your ex-Europe trips. Think about whether or not you can get cash back on what you're doing. Look at the opportunities to use points to try to get additional value when you're traveling. Think carefully about whether buying those kind of package inclusive holidays are going to give you that better value. And then look for things like kitchenettes to make sure you're managing your expenses a little bit more keenly whilst you're there. That's the best of it from me, guys. All of this talk makes me want to book a holiday for this summer, and who knows, maybe we'll get there. But until next week, guys, best of luck with everything. Keep sharing your best ways on how we can just get that holiday spend in check. What are the best ways for us to optimize that holiday spend? Drop us a note, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.